Little rebels, big heroes. How challenging children grow into confident adults. Introduction to your new life. In this introduction, we would like to give a brief overview of the topic that is covered in this book: how difficult children can grow into loving adults. In our society, we are increasingly seeing children letting their behavior get out of control, not respecting boundaries and developing into little tyrants. This book deals with the causes of this behavior and offers solutions to get children back on a healthy and happy development path. In the first part of the book, we look at the causes of children's behavior. One important component is the lack of clear boundaries and structures in parenting. If children do not have clear guidelines about what is and is not allowed, they can easily feel overwhelmed and start to set their own rules. We show why boundaries are important and how parents can set them to give their children guidance. The second part of the book is devoted to the excessive demands and lack of orientation that children often experience today. In our performance-oriented society, high expectations are placed on children, which can lead to stress and pressure. We examine the effects of this excessive demand and offer ways in which parents can support their children by giving them space for child-appropriate development and not burdening them with perfectionism. In the third part of the book, we look at how we can foster viable and happy children. We discuss the importance of child-centered parenting that emphasizes play, creativity and learning through experience. We also look at the value of relationships and bonds, both within the family and in the community, and how these can support children's emotional development. We also look at the importance of self-care and mindfulness, both for parents and children, to promote healthy balance and resilience. Finally, in a separate section, we look at the role of society. Educational institutions play an important role in promoting child development, and we show how they can help children grow into loving adults. We also look at the influence of media and technology on children and offer approaches to promote a balanced approach. In the conclusion, we appeal to love our children and emphasize the importance of a holistic and loving upbringing. This book is aimed at all those who are committed to ensuring that our society can love and support its children so that they can grow up to be loving and responsible adults. The current situation. Children out of control. The challenges of modern education. The change in educational methods. The role of parents in a changing society. The influence of technology and media on education. The partnership approach as a problem. The idea of equality in education. The boundaries between authority and cooperation. The consequences of an excessive partnership approach. The effects on children and society. Loss of respect and discipline. Lack of conflict resolution skills. Impairment of social interactions. Summary. The current situation and its effects. The challenges of modern education. Modern education faces a number of challenges that make it difficult for parents and guardians to adequately support and encourage their children. Over the past few decades, the understanding of education and the role of parents in society has changed significantly. These changes have both positive and negative effects on the development of children. This section examines some of the main problems and challenges of modern education. A key problem is the change in parenting methods. Traditionally, parenting was often authoritarian, with clear rules and discipline being the main focus. Nowadays, however, more and more emphasis is being placed on a partnership relationship between parents and children. Parents try to involve their children in decision-making processes and give them more freedom and autonomy. This approach is intended to promote children's development and strengthen their independence. However, an excessive focus on partnership can lead to children not having clear boundaries and structures, which can lead to insecurity and behavioral problems. The role of parents in a changing society presents another challenge. In many modern families, both parents work, which can lead to a lack of time and stress. Parents may not have enough time and energy to devote to raising their children. This can lead to neglect or a lack of emotional support. In addition, family structures have changed, and blended families or single parents are now more common. These changes can bring additional stress and increase parenting challenges. Another factor influencing modern parenting is the increasing role of technology and media. Children today are surrounded by screens more than ever and have easier access to a variety of content. This can lead to overstimulation and affect children's development. Too much screen time can have negative effects on physical health, social interaction and cognitive development. In addition, parents often have difficulty controlling technology use and protecting their children from inappropriate content. These challenges of modern parenting can have a negative impact on children's development and behavior. On the one hand, the lack of clear boundaries and structures can lead to insecurity. Children need clear indications of what is allowed and what is not. If they do not have clear boundaries, they can feel overwhelmed and try to set their own rules. This can lead to conflicts and power struggles and put a strain on family life. The partnership approach has a problem. In recent years, a trend has developed in parenting that is based on a partnership between parents and children. This idea of equality and cooperation is intended to promote children's autonomy and independence. However, an excessive focus on this partnership can lead to problems and impair children's development. This section looks at the challenges and risks of excessive partnership. The idea of partnership is based on the assumption that children should be treated as equal partners. Parents want to give their children a sense of autonomy and self-determination by involving them in decision-making processes and respecting their opinions and needs. This approach can contribute to a positive parent-child relationship and strengthen children's self-confidence and independence. However, an excessive focus on partnership can lead to problems. Children need clear boundaries and structure to feel safe and guided. If parents neglect their role as authority figures and instead try to constantly negotiate with their children, children can feel like they lack guidance. They can feel overwhelmed because they don't know where their boundaries are and what behaviors are acceptable. Another risk of dealing with children in a partnership is the development of an imbalance of power. Children are not yet fully developed and therefore need guidance and support from adults. However, if parents try to treat their children as equals and give them too much decision-making power, this can lead to the children being overwhelmed. They can have difficulty dealing with the responsibility and making appropriate decisions. This can lead to insecurity, anxiety and a feeling of being overwhelmed. Another problem with partnered behavior is that it can lead to children not experiencing consequences for their behavior. When children grow up in an environment where there are few rules or consequences for their behavior, they can have difficulty taking responsibility for their actions. They can lose respect for others and the ability to resolve conflicts because they never learn that their behavior has consequences. This can lead to problems at school, in social relationships, and later in life. It is important to stress that a partnership approach is not fundamentally negative. Rather, it is about finding a healthy balance between partnership approach and clear structures. Children should feel heard and respected, but at the same time parents should take on their role as leaders. The effects on children and society. The current challenges in parenting, such as the lack of clear boundaries, excessive demands on children and the lack of partnership, have a significant impact on the development of children and society as a whole. This section examines the negative consequences of these problems. Loss of respect and discipline. The lack of clear boundaries and structure in parenting can lead to a loss of respect for authority figures. If children do not learn to respect boundaries and accept consequences for their behavior, this can lead to disrespectful behavior toward teachers, parents, and other adults. Children may start to make up their own rules and rebel against any form of authority. This creates a difficult dynamic in which it becomes difficult to manage the children and provide them with appropriate parenting. In addition, the loss of discipline and self-control can lead to impulsive behavior. Children may have difficulty regulating their emotions and responding appropriately to frustration or conflict. This can lead to aggressive behavior, outbursts of anger, and violence. The lack of discipline and self-control also affects academic performance, as children may have difficulty concentrating on tasks and using their time effectively. Lack of conflict resolution skills. Another problem arising from current challenges in parenting is the lack of conflict resolution skills. If children do not learn to deal with conflict appropriately and balance their own needs with the needs of others, they may have difficulty forming healthy relationships. Conflicts may not be resolved constructively, but instead lead to aggression and hostility. This can lead to difficulties in school, in the family, and in the later world of work. In addition, a lack of understanding of conflict resolution can lead to children having difficulty communicating their own needs and boundaries. They may have difficulty standing up for themselves and expressing their opinions and desires. This can lead to low self-esteem and make children vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. The causes of children's behavior. The causes of children's behavior are varied and can be attributed to a variety of factors. This section explains some of the main causes of children's behavior that is considered difficult or challenging. Family influences. The family plays a central role in the development of children's behavior. The way children are raised can greatly influence their behavior. Family influences such as neglect, excessive control, lack of attention, or unstable family circumstances can cause children to develop behavioral problems. Children who grow up in an environment that lacks emotional support, stability, and loving care may not develop appropriately and exhibit behavioral problems. Social environment. The social environment in which children grow up also has a significant impact on their behavior. Children can adapt and adopt behaviors from their peers or other role models in their environment. If they grow up in an environment where violence, aggression or disrespectful behavior is prevalent, they are at greater risk of displaying similar behavior patterns. The influence of peers at school or in the neighborhood can also influence children's behavior. Biological factors. Biological factors such as genetics, neurological development and hormone levels can also play a role in the development of children's behavior. Some children may be more prone to impulsive, aggressive or challenging behavior due to their genetics or certain neurological characteristics. Hormonal imbalances. such as those found in children with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder (ADHD), can also lead to behavior problems. Emotional challenges. Emotional challenges such as stress, anxiety, trauma or neglect can have a strong impact on children's behavior. Children who have experienced traumatic experiences or live in stressful life situations may exhibit behavioral problems to cope with their emotions or to get attention. Children who face chronic stress may have difficulty regulating their emotions and responding appropriately to certain situations. Media and technology. The influence of media and technology on children's behavior should not be underestimated. Children today are constantly surrounded by screens and have access to a variety of content that can influence them. The lack of clear boundaries and structures. The lack of clear boundaries and structures in parenting can have a significant impact on the behavior and development of children. Boundaries and structures serve to give children orientation and security, to guide them and to give them a sense of stability. This section examines the problems and consequences of the lack of clear boundaries and structures in parenting. Uncertainty and confusion. If children do not have clear boundaries, this can lead to insecurity and confusion. They do not know what is expected of them and how they should behave in certain situations. Without clear guidance, children can become anxious and overwhelmed as they constantly search for guidance and feel insecure. Problems with self-regulation. The lack of clear boundaries and structure can also affect children's ability to self-regulate. Boundaries and structure help children control their impulses and respond appropriately to different situations. When children do not have clear boundaries, they may have difficulty regulating their emotions and actions. They may act impulsively and uncontrollably, which can lead to conflict and problematic behavior. Inappropriate behavior and boundary violations. The lack of clear boundaries and structures can lead to children making their own rules and crossing boundaries. Without clear instructions and consequences for their behavior, children may try to enforce their own rules and show no consideration for others. They may test and cross boundaries, which can lead to conflict with other children, parents or teachers. Inappropriate behavior such as aggression, disobedience or disrespect can significantly affect social relationships and coexistence within the family or at school. Lack of willingness to take responsibility. Clear boundaries and structures help children develop a sense of responsibility. If children do not have clear rules and experience consequences for their behavior, they may have difficulty taking responsibility for their actions. They may have difficulty understanding the consequences of their actions and may shift responsibility onto others. This can hinder the development of important life skills such as a sense of responsibility, consequentialism, and self-reflection. Disturbances in family life and social relationships. The lack of clear boundaries and structures can lead to significant disruptions in family life and social relationships. Why borders are important. Boundaries are crucial to providing children with guidance, security and structure. They help children navigate their environment and develop appropriately. Here are some reasons why boundaries are important. Safety and security. Clear boundaries give children a feeling of security and safety. They know what is allowed and what is not, and can develop freely within these boundaries. When children know what is expected of them and what behavior is acceptable, they feel safe and can focus on their development. Orientation and structure. Limits give children guidance and structure. They know what is expected of them in certain situations and how they should behave. This helps children deal with challenges better because they have clear guidelines on how they should behave in different situations. Limits help children use their time and energy effectively and focus on their tasks. Promoting self-regulation. Limits help children control their impulses and regulate their emotions appropriately. By learning that there are limits and that there are consequences for their behavior, children develop the ability to self-regulate. They learn to control their emotions, be considerate of others, and adapt their behavior to social norms. Development of a sense of responsibility. Clear boundaries promote the development of a sense of responsibility in children. When children understand that their behavior has consequences, they learn to take responsibility for their actions. They realize that they are responsible for their decisions and actions and that they must bear the consequences of their behavior. This promotes the development of important life skills such as self-reflection, consequential thinking, and a sense of responsibility. Promoting social skills. Boundaries help children develop social skills. When children learn to respect boundaries and respect the needs and rights of others, they develop important social skills such as empathy, consideration, and conflict resolution. Boundaries also encourage respectful interaction and enable harmonious coexistence in the family, at school, and in society. Overall, boundaries are crucial for the healthy development of children. They give them security, orientation, and structure, promote self-regulation, a sense of responsibility, and the development of social skills. Parents and educators play an important role in setting clear boundaries and consistently enforcing them in order to enable children to develop healthily and positively. The effects of not setting boundaries. The lack of clear boundary setting can have a significant impact on children. Here are some of the possible consequences. Uncertainty and confusion. Children can feel insecure if they don't have clear boundaries. They don't know what is allowed and what isn't, and may be constantly searching for guidance. This uncertainty can lead to fear, anxiety, and confusion. Behavioral problems. Children who lack clear boundaries may be prone to inappropriate behavior. They may test boundaries, break rules, and lack an understanding of social norms. This can lead to conflict with other children, parents, or authority figures and affect social relationships. Difficulties in self-regulation. Boundaries help children control their impulses and regulate their behavior. When these boundaries are lacking, children may have difficulty controlling their emotions and responding appropriately to different situations. They may act impulsively, have difficulty tolerating frustration, and have trouble concentrating and paying attention. Lack of willingness to take responsibility. Without clear boundaries, children may have difficulty taking responsibility for their actions. They may not understand or care about the consequences of their behavior. This can hinder the development of important life skills such as self-reflection, consequentialism, and a sense of responsibility. Impaired relationships. The lack of clear boundaries can lead to tension and conflict in relationships between parents and children. Without clear guidelines for behavior, misunderstandings can arise and parents may have difficulty responding appropriately to their children's behavior. This can lead to alienation and a deterioration in the parent-child relationship. How parents can set boundaries. Parents play a crucial role in setting boundaries for their children. Here are some tips on how parents can set boundaries. Clear rules and expectations. Parents should set clear rules and expectations for their children's behavior. These rules should be age appropriate and meet the child's individual needs and abilities. The rules should be clearly communicated and written in language that the child can understand. Consistency. It is important that parents are consistent in enforcing rules. Children need a clear and reliable structure to feel safe and secure. Overwhelm and lack of orientation. Overwhelm and a lack of direction are two other important aspects that can result from a lack of boundary setting. Here is a closer look at these topics. Overwhelm. The lack of clear boundaries can lead to children feeling overwhelmed. Without clear guidelines and structure, they may struggle to complete their tasks and use their time effectively. Children may feel like too much is expected of them or that they don't know how to complete their tasks. This overwhelm can lead to stress, frustration and a feeling of helplessness. Lack of orientation. Boundaries also serve to give children guidance. They help them understand what is expected of them and how to behave in different situations. When children do not have clear boundaries, they can feel lost and insecure. They may not know how to behave in social interactions or how to regulate their emotions appropriately. This can lead to a lack of self-confidence and problems with social adjustment. To avoid overwhelm and a lack of orientation, parents can take the following measures. Realistic expectations. Parents should have realistic expectations of their children and adjust tasks and responsibilities to the child's developmental level. It is important to consider the child's abilities and limitations and provide appropriate challenges to foster a sense of competence. Structure and routine. A structured environment with clear routines can help children feel secure and oriented. Parents can create set times for activities such as eating, sleeping, homework and free time. This gives children an idea of what to expect and helps them organize their time effectively. Communication. Parents should communicate openly with their children and give them clear instructions and explanations. Children need to understand why certain rules exist and what the consequences are of certain behaviors. Open communication also allows children to express their concerns or difficulties so that parents can respond appropriately. Support. Parents should offer support and guidance to their children as they learn new skills or overcome challenges. By helping them understand their tasks and helping them develop strategies and solutions, parents can help their children find direction and deal with challenges. Flexibility and adaptability. Parents should be willing to adjust their limits and rules occasionally as the child's needs and abilities change. The pressure in modern society. The pressures in modern society have a significant impact on children and their behavior. Here are some important aspects that make up the pressures in modern society. Pressure to perform. In today's society, there is often a lot of pressure to perform. Children are confronted with high expectations from an early age, whether in school, sports or other activities. They are expected to be successful in various areas and to constantly improve. This pressure to perform can lead to stress and overexertion. Perfectionism. The desire to be perfect and to live up to the expectations of others is common. Children are often pushed to be excellent in everything they do. They are expected to get the best grades, perform exceptionally well in their free time, and always be perfect in social interactions. This perfectionism can lead to high levels of self-criticism and self-doubt. Lack of time. The hectic lifestyle of many families leads to a lack of time. Parents often have little time for their children as they are overloaded with work, household and other obligations. This can lead to children feeling neglected and not receiving enough attention and support. The lack of quality time can also lead to difficulties in developing attachments and healthy relationships. Social pressure. Children are increasingly exposed to pressure to conform to social norms and trends. They have to wear certain clothes, have certain interests and belong to certain groups in order to be accepted. This social pressure can lead to a distortion of self-image and problems with self-acceptance. Media pressure. Today's media landscape has a strong influence on children. Social media, television and other media convey certain ideals of beauty, lifestyles and behaviors. Children can compare themselves to these ideals and feel like they are not enough. This can lead to low self-esteem and negative body image. The pressures of modern society can lead to a variety of problems in children, including anxiety disorders, depression, eating disorders and behavioral problems. It is important that parents and educators recognize the pressures and develop strategies to support and empower their children. This includes creating a balanced lifestyle that includes time for relaxation, play and free activities. Parents should encourage their children to discover their own interests and passions rather than focusing solely on external achievements. The pursuit of perfectionism. The pursuit of perfectionism is a widespread phenomenon in modern society and has a significant impact on children. Here are some important aspects related to the pursuit of perfectionism. High expectations. Children are often faced with high expectations, whether from their parents, teachers or even themselves. They are expected to excel in all areas of their lives and not make mistakes. This pressure to live up to high standards can lead to a strong drive for perfectionism. Fear of mistakes. Perfectionism is often accompanied by a fear of making mistakes. Children who want to be perfect are often very afraid of making mistakes or failing. They want to complete every task perfectly and have difficulty coming to terms with imperfection. This fear of making mistakes can lead to high levels of self-criticism and insecurity. Self-esteem dependence. Children who strive for perfectionism often tie their self-worth to their achievements. They believe that they are only valuable and accepted if they are perfect and achieve exceptional results. This can lead to unstable self-esteem and cause children to devalue themselves over even small mistakes or failures. Overload. Perfectionism can lead to excessive stress. Children often put pressure on themselves by taking on too many tasks and obligations. They want to succeed in all areas of their lives and may neglect their own needs for rest and relaxation. This overload can lead to stress, exhaustion and an increased susceptibility to mental health problems. Fear of evaluation. Perfectionism is often accompanied by a great fear of being judged and criticized. Children are afraid of being perceived by others as not good enough or inadequate. This fear can lead them to hold back, avoid risks and feel insecure in social situations. To counteract the pursuit of perfectionism, it is important that parents and educators give children a healthy attitude towards success and a culture of mistakes. Here are some approaches. Promote a positive culture of mistakes. Children should learn to accept mistakes as a natural part of the learning process. They should understand that mistakes provide opportunities to grow and develop. Parents can support this by encouraging their children to take risks, reflect on mistakes and learn from them. The consequences of excessive demands. Overwhelming children can have a variety of negative effects on their well-being and development. Here are some possible consequences of overwhelm. Stress and psychological strain. Overwhelm can lead to high levels of stress and psychological strain in children. The pressure to live up to high expectations and constantly perform can lead to anxiety, depression, sleep disorders and other psychological problems. Physical effects. Overexertion can also affect the body. Children can experience physical symptoms such as headaches, stomach aches, fatigue, loss of appetite or excessive stress. In the long term, chronic stress can weaken the immune system and increase the risk of health problems. Impaired social relationships. Children who are overwhelmed may not have enough time or energy to maintain social relationships. They may feel isolated or withdrawn because they are overloaded with responsibilities. This can lead to difficulties in developing and maintaining friendships. Academic problems. Overwhelm can also lead to academic problems. When children have too many tasks and obligations, their school performance can suffer. They may not have enough time to complete their homework, prepare for exams, or concentrate properly in class. Low self-esteem. Children who are overwhelmed may develop low self-esteem. They may feel like they are not good enough or that they do not live up to the expectations of others. This can lead to a negative self-image and a lack of confidence. To minimize the consequences of excessive demands, it is important that parents and educators recognize the stress and take appropriate measures. Here are some approaches. Time management. It is important that children have adequate time for various activities and develop a good work-life balance. Parents can help create a structured schedule and set priorities to ensure that children have enough time for rest, leisure and social interactions. Communication. Parents should talk openly with their children about their responsibilities and pressures. It is important that children can express their feelings and concerns so that parents can respond appropriately and offer support. Set boundaries. Parents should set clear boundaries and ensure that children do not have excessive activities. It is important that children have time to relax and focus on what is important. Ways to support child development. There are several ways parents and educators can support children's development. Here are some important approaches. Creating a loving and supportive environment. Children need a loving and supportive environment to develop optimally. Parents should offer them security, warmth and safety. They should make them feel that they are loved unconditionally and that they can always count on their support. Promoting self-confidence and self-esteem. Parents should build their children's confidence and self-esteem. They should recognize their strengths and talents and encourage them to develop new skills. Parents should teach their children that mistakes are normal and that they can learn from them. By fostering a positive self-image, children will be able to tackle challenges with confidence. Offering learning opportunities and challenges. Parents should provide opportunities for their children to learn new things and develop. They can enroll them in activities and hobbies that match their interests and encourage them to expand their skills. It is important that parents challenge their children, but at the same time ensure that the challenges are appropriate to their abilities. Promoting social and emotional development. Parents should support their children's social and emotional development. They can teach them how to communicate with others, resolve conflicts, and show empathy. Parents should encourage their children to express their feelings and support them in building healthy relationships. Be a role model. Parents should be positive role models for their children. They should teach them good values and behaviors and also practice them themselves. Children learn a lot through observation and imitation. So it is important that parents demonstrate the kind of behavior they expect from their children. Communication and interaction. Parents should communicate openly with their children and have regular interactions with them. They should schedule time for conversations, shared activities and games. By communicating and interacting with their children, parents can understand their needs, interests and concerns and respond appropriately. Support for self-employment. Parents should support their children in developing independence. They should give them increasing responsibility and help them to make their own decisions. Parents should encourage their children to solve problems and face challenges on their own, while also providing support and guidance. Through these different approaches, parents and educators can support child development and help children reach their full potential. The development of viable and happy children. Developing viable and happy children is an important goal for parents and educators. Here are some key aspects that can contribute to this. Loving and supportive relationships. Children need loving and supportive relationships to feel safe and secure. Parents should build a strong bond with their children by giving them time, attention and affection. These relationships serve as the basis for the child's overall development. Good physical and mental health. Promoting good physical and mental health is crucial for children's well-being and development. Parents should ensure that their children get a balanced diet, enough sleep and regular exercise. It is also important to support their mental well-being by giving them space for creative and intellectual activities. Promote social skills. Children should be able to develop social skills to interact effectively with others. Parents should teach them to show empathy, resolve conflicts and build positive interpersonal relationships. This can be achieved through games, group activities and access to social settings. Promoting independence and self-confidence. Children should learn to be independent and have confidence in their own abilities. Parents can encourage their children to make their own decisions, take responsibility and explore their own limits. It is important that children are allowed to overcome challenges and learn from mistakes in order to build their self-confidence. Promote curiosity and lifelong learning. Parents should create an environment that promotes their children's curiosity and supports lifelong learning. Children should be encouraged to ask questions, try new things and pursue their interests. Parents can support this through books, games, outings and access to different learning opportunities. Instill meaningful values. Parents should instill meaningful values and ethics in their children. Children should learn to show respect, kindness, tolerance and responsibility towards others. Parents can serve as role models by living and discussing these values. Create a balance between structure and freedom. Children need both structure and freedom to develop healthily. Parents should set clear rules and boundaries, but also leave room for creative expression and individual interests. A good balance between structure and freedom allows children to take on responsibility and develop their personality. Child-friendly education. Child-friendly education is aimed at respecting and supporting the needs, abilities and developmental stages of children. Here are some principles and approaches that are important for child-friendly education. Understanding child development. Parents should educate themselves on the different developmental stages and needs of children. They should understand that children have different abilities, interests and maturity levels and set appropriate expectations accordingly. Respect the child's individuality. Every child is unique and has his or her own needs, personality and interests. Parents should respect their child's individuality and encourage him or her to make his or her own decisions and pursue his or her own interests. Communication at eye level. Parents should maintain respectful and appreciative communication with their children. This means listening to them, taking their opinions and feelings seriously and actively involving them in decision-making processes. Open communication at eye level promotes the child's trust and independence. Support for independence. Child-friendly education involves promoting the child's independence. Parents should give their children the opportunity to complete tasks independently and take on responsibility. This can include learning everyday skills such as getting dressed, eating or tidying up. Provide positive reinforcement, instead of focusing solely on punishment or criticism. Parents should provide positive reinforcement and praise their child's strengths and successes. Positive reinforcement builds self-confidence and motivates the child to continue to develop. Incorporate play and creativity. Children learn and develop best through play-based activities. Parents should plan time for free play and creative expressions such as drawing, painting or making music. Play promotes creativity, imagination, problem-solving skills and social interaction. Boundaries and showing consequences. Child-friendly parenting also includes setting clear boundaries and showing appropriate consequences. Children need structure and clear expectations to feel safe and understand their behavior. However, parents should make sure to set boundaries with love and understanding and always take the child's developmental stage into account. It is important to emphasize that child-friendly parenting is an individual process and adapts to the needs of each child. Parents should be open to adjustments and respond flexibly to the changing needs of their child. The meaning of the game. Play is of great importance for child development. It is not only a source of joy and pleasure, but also an important mechanism through which children learn, develop social skills and promote their cognitive, emotional and physical development. Here are some reasons why play is so important for children. Promote cognitive development. When playing, children use their cognitive skills to solve problems, make decisions and use their imagination. They develop their cognitive flexibility, problem-solving skills, creative thinking and decision-making, development of social skills. Through play, children interact with others and learn to follow rules, share, collaborate, resolve conflicts, and show empathy. They develop their social skills and learn to build and maintain relationships. Promote emotional development. Play allows children to express their emotions, understand their own feelings and develop empathy for others. It helps them develop their emotional skills and deal with stress, frustration and conflict. Development of fine and gross motor skills. When playing, children use their muscles to move, balance, grasp, throw and coordinate. This develops their fine and gross motor skills, dexterity and physical fitness. Promote imagination and creativity. The game offers children the opportunity to use their imagination and develop creative ideas. They can role-play different characters, invent stories and create their own world. This promotes their imagination and creativity. Stress relief and relaxation. Play allows children to relieve stress and relax. It serves as an outlet for negative emotions and gives them a chance to channel their energy and express themselves. Self-discovery and personality development. Through play, children have the freedom to explore their own interests, preferences and abilities. They can discover their strengths, develop their identity and build self-confidence. Parents and educators should recognize play as a valuable tool for promoting child development and give their children enough time and space to play. They can provide play materials and environments that stimulate creativity and imagination, and encourage participation in shared games and activities to strengthen bonds and social interaction. Play should be seen as an important component in child-centered education to support children in their holistic development. Promoting creativity and imagination. Encouraging creativity and imagination in children is very important as it affects their cognitive development, problem solving, emotional expression and ability to innovate. Here are some ways parents can support their children's creativity and imagination. Create an inspiring environment. Provide your child with an environment that encourages creative thinking. Provide materials such as pens, paints, paper, building blocks, dress-up costumes and other creative tools. Create a space where your child can freely develop and implement their ideas. Encourage free play. Give your child the freedom to play without restrictions and use their imagination. Let them role-play different characters, invent stories and create their own games and scenarios. Support your child in expressing and living out their creative ideas. Offer different experiences. Expose your child to different artistic, musical and cultural experiences. Visit museums, galleries, theater performances and concerts. Let him try different musical instruments. Take dance or art classes and learn new creative techniques. These experiences will broaden your child's horizons and inspire his own creativity. Encourage storytelling. Storytelling is a wonderful way to stimulate the imagination. Read stories to your child and encourage them to make up their own stories. Give them the opportunity to write down their stories, illustrate them, or even share them with others. Storytelling encourages language development and imagination. Set puzzles and challenges. Give your child puzzles, brain teasers and challenges that stimulate their creative problem-solving skills. This can include solving brain teasers, building complex structures or designing puzzles. These activities stimulate your child's critical thinking and innovative skills. Encourage experimental approaches. Let your child experiment and try new things. Give them the freedom to make mistakes and learn from them. Encourage them to explore different approaches to solving problems and pursue unconventional ideas. This encourages creativity and allows your child to develop their own approach to problems. Be a role model. Show your child that you are creative and use your own imagination. Be open to new ideas. Try out creative activities yourself and encourage your child. Learning through experience. Experiential learning is a powerful way to teach children knowledge and skills. It allows them to actively participate in the learning process by using their senses, acting independently, and learning through mistakes and successes. Here are some reasons why experiential learning is so important. Practical and action-oriented learning. Children learn best when they can be active and try things out themselves. Through practical activities and experiences, they gain concrete knowledge and develop a deeper understanding of different concepts. Promote problem-solving skills. Experiential learning presents children with challenges and problems that they must solve independently. This strengthens their ability to analyze problems, explore different solutions and make decisions. Developing life skills. By acting in real-life situations, children learn important life skills, such as how to organize tasks, solve problems, communicate with others, and think critically, building confidence and self-esteem. By learning through experience, children gain confidence in their abilities. As they complete tasks and overcome obstacles, they develop a positive self-image and learn that they are capable of overcoming challenges. Promote creativity and imagination. Experimenting and exploring allows children to develop their creativity and imagination. They are free to develop new ideas, try different approaches and use their imagination. Improve teamwork and social skills. Learning through experience enables children to collaborate with others, communicate, share ideas and resolve conflicts. They learn to work in groups, express their opinions and be responsive to others. Sustainable learning. Experiences are often more emotional and personal, which means that what is learned is better remembered. Children retain the knowledge and skills they have acquired through practical experiences for longer and can apply them in different situations. Parents and educators can support experiential learning by providing opportunities for children to explore the world around them and have their own experiences. This can be facilitated through free play, experiments, hands-on projects, trips into nature and social interactions. It is important that parents provide the space and support for children to have their own experiences, while also being there to answer questions, provide guidance and ensure safety. The balance between freedom and responsibility. The balance between freedom and responsibility is an important aspect of child-friendly education. It is about giving children freedom so that they can develop their personality and develop their skills, while at the same time learning to take responsibility for their actions. Here are some thoughts on this. Freedom to develop. Children should have space to explore their own interests and discover their talents. Parents should give them the opportunity to make decisions and go their own way. This allows children to develop self-confidence and independence. Responsibility for one's own actions. At the same time, children should learn that their actions have consequences. Parents can encourage them to take responsibility for their behavior and help them understand the consequences of their actions. This helps children develop an understanding of cause and effect. Shared decision-making. Parents can give children the opportunity to participate in decisions that affect their lives. This may include choosing activities, decorating their own room, or planning family activities. By participating in decision-making, children learn to express their own needs and make compromises. Limits and rules. Freedom does not mean that there are no limits. Parents should set clear rules and limits that are important for the child's well-being. These rules should be appropriate and take into account the child's developmental stage. They serve to promote safety, respect and healthy habits. Communication and empathy. Open communication between parents and children is crucial to achieving the balance between freedom and responsibility. Parents should clearly communicate their expectations and concerns while listening to their children's opinions and feelings. Through empathy, parents can understand their children's perspective and better understand their decisions. Support and guidance. Children need support and guidance to take on responsibility. Parents can help them organize their tasks, support them when they encounter difficulties, and encourage them to take on challenges. This support is important to give children security and show them that they are not alone. The balance between freedom and responsibility can vary depending on the child's age and maturity. It is important to consider the child's needs and abilities and adapt parenting accordingly. A balanced approach allows children to develop their autonomy while learning to take responsibility for themselves and their actions. The value of relationships and bonds. The value of relationships and attachments in child development is of great importance. Relationships with parents, siblings, other family members, friends and caregivers play a crucial role in building healthy emotional, social and cognitive development. Here are some aspects that illustrate the value of relationships and attachments. Emotional support. Relationships provide emotional support and security for children. A loving and supportive relationship with parents or caregivers creates a feeling of security, trust and belonging. Children can express their feelings, share them with others and find comfort in difficult times. Social learning. Through relationships, children learn important social skills and behaviors. They develop empathy, learn to communicate with others, manage conflict, compromise, and build relationships. These social skills are crucial for later life and interaction with other people. Support identity development. Relationships provide children with the opportunity to develop their own identity. By sharing thoughts, opinions and experiences with other people, children learn who they are and what is important to them. They receive feedback and validation, which helps them build their self-confidence and self-esteem. Cognitive development. Relationships and bonds also promote children's cognitive development. Through interactions with others, they learn new things, expand their knowledge and skills. For example, conversations, shared activities and learning from other children can help improve their language development, thinking and problem-solving skills. Support during difficult times. Relationships provide children with support and reassurance during difficult times. When they face challenges, they can count on their relationships to help them get through difficulties. A reliable relationship can help them reduce stress, manage anxiety, and meet their emotional needs. Promoting well-being. Positive relationships contribute to children's overall well-being. They feel happier, safer and loved when they have strong bonds with others. The feeling of security and connection strengthens their mental health and promotes their emotional well-being. Parents and caregivers play a crucial role in teaching children the importance of relationships and attachment. Through loving interactions, time for conversation, shared activities and creating a supportive. The meaning of love and affection. The importance of love and affection in child development cannot be overemphasized. Love is a fundamental emotional experience that gives children feelings of warmth, security and unconditional acceptance. Here are some reasons why love and affection are so important for children. Emotional well-being. Love and affection are essential to children's emotional well-being. When they know they are loved unconditionally, they develop strong self-esteem and a positive self-image. Love reassures children that they are valuable and important, regardless of their actions or achievements. Bonding. Love and affection are the foundation for building a secure bond between parents and children. When children feel that they are loved, they develop a sense of trust and connection. This bond forms the basis for healthy relationships later in life. Development of empathy. When children experience love and affection, they also learn to show these feelings towards others. By experiencing what it feels like to be loved and cared for, they develop empathy for the needs and feelings of other people. This promotes their social skills and ability to build relationships. Stress management. Love and affection serve as an important resource for stress management in children. When they face difficulties or feel uncertain, they can count on the love of their parents or caregivers to calm and comfort them. Love provides children with a sense of security and support during difficult times. Promotes overall development. Love and affection have positive effects on all areas of child development. Children who experience love are more willing to explore new things, have a higher motivation to learn, and develop healthier self-regulation skills. They are also better able to build relationships and manage conflict. Parents and caregivers can show love and affection in many different ways. Physical closeness such as hugs, kisses and caresses give children a feeling of security and affection. Even simple actions such as lovingly listening, spending time together on activities and expressing appreciation can demonstrate love. It is important that love and affection are shown consistently and unconditionally. Children should feel that they are loved regardless of their actions or achievements. A loving and supportive environment creates the foundation for children's growth and healthy development. The role of parents as role models. The role of parents as role models is crucial to children's development. Children learn through observation and imitation, and their parents are the most important and present role models in the early years. Here are some reasons why the role of parents as role models is so important. Behavioral modeling. Children observe and imitate their parents' behavior. They consciously and unconsciously perceive the way their parents speak, act, and interact with others. By demonstrating positive behaviors such as respect, kindness, patience, honesty, and empathy, parents can encourage their children to adopt these values and implement them in their own lives. Developing values and ethics. Parents shape their children's moral and ethical values. Through their actions and decisions, they can teach them what is right and wrong. By displaying integrity themselves and clearly communicating their values, they lay the foundation for the development of their children's moral compass. Managing emotions. Children also learn how to manage emotions by observing their parents' behavior. When parents regulate their own emotions in a healthy way and demonstrate how to deal with stress, anger, or frustration, they give their children valuable tools to understand and manage their own emotions. Communication skills. The way parents communicate with each other and with their children shapes the development of their children's communication skills. Parents who demonstrate respectful, empathetic and effective communication behaviors help their children develop and improve their own communication skills. Self-esteem and self-image. Parents influence their children's self-esteem and self-image. By showing their children love, appreciation and support, they help them develop positive self-esteem. Parents who are confident and self-accepting teach their children the importance of self-love and self-acceptance. It is important that parents are aware of their role as role models and reflect on their behavior. This is not about being perfect, but about consciously demonstrating positive behaviors and values. Parents should be aware of their own strengths and weaknesses and be willing to take responsibility for their behavior and develop further. Community and social integration. Community and social integration play an important role in child development. Children need the opportunity to become involved in communities and build social relationships. Here are some reasons why community and social integration are important for children. Social interaction. By participating in communities, children have the opportunity to interact with other children and adults and experience social interactions. They learn how to navigate different social situations, make friends, resolve conflicts and develop their social skills. Cultural learning. Communities provide children with opportunities to develop their cultural identity and acquire cultural knowledge. They learn about the values, customs and traditions of their community and develop an understanding of diversity and cultural differences. This promotes tolerance, respect and intercultural understanding, support and cohesion. Communities provide support systems for children and their families. They can provide resources, services, and support when needed. Communities also promote cohesion and solidarity among members, which creates a sense of security and belonging for children. Learning from different perspectives. By interacting with different people in a community, children learn to take different perspectives and respect different opinions and ideas. They develop their ability to empathize and change perspectives, which benefits their social and emotional development. Promoting responsibility and engagement. Communities provide children with opportunities to take responsibility and work for the common good. By participating in activities, services or community projects, children learn that they can contribute and make a difference. This promotes their engagement, responsibility and social responsibility. Parents and caregivers play an important role in supporting children's social integration. They can create opportunities for children to get involved in communities, whether in schools, sports clubs, religious groups or other social organizations. Parents can also be role models by being active in their community and demonstrating social commitment. It is important that children have the opportunity to feel comfortable and involved in communities. By promoting a sense of community and social integration, parents and caregivers enable children to develop holistically, to be part of a larger whole and to strengthen their social skills and relationships. Supporting children in developing empathy and compassion. Helping children develop empathy and compassion is important as it helps them to empathize with others, understand their needs and feelings and respond appropriately. Here are some ways parents and caregivers can support children in this important development. Be a role model. Children learn best by observing and imitating. By demonstrating empathetic and compassionate behavior themselves, parents and caregivers set a positive example for their children. Show them how to listen carefully, express understanding and support, and help others in difficult situations. Have emotional conversations. Take time to talk to your children about feelings. Encourage them to talk about their own emotions and help them recognize and understand the emotions of others. Encourage empathetic conversations in which children learn to put themselves in other people's shoes. Encourage perspective taking. Help children to take the perspective of other people. Ask questions like how would you feel if you were in their shoes or why do you think they reacted that way. This type of thinking allows children to develop empathy and better understand those around them. Read stories and books about empathy. Read children books or stories that address themes such as empathy, compassion, and friendship. These stories can serve as a starting point for discussing these important values and behaviors with children and encourage them to implement empathetic actions in everyday life. Conduct activities to promote empathy. Do activities that support the development of empathy. For example, you can volunteer together in the community, participate in a fundraising project, or demonstrate other supportive actions such as comforting someone who is sad. These hands-on experiences help children put empathy and compassion into action. Helping children develop empathy and compassion not only contributes to their individual social and emotional development, but also to creating a compassionate and caring society. By learning to care for others and consider their needs, children can build positive relationships and contribute to a harmonious and supportive community. The importance of self-care and mindfulness. The importance of self-care and mindfulness cannot be overstated, especially in our busy and demanding world. Self-care refers to consciously and actively nurturing one's physical, mental and emotional well-being, while mindfulness is consciously and intentionally noticing the present moment without judgment. Here are some reasons why self-care and mindfulness are important for children and adults. Stress management. Self-care and mindfulness are powerful tools for managing stress. By consciously taking time for ourselves and recognizing our own needs, we can reduce stress and improve our well-being. It is important for children to learn to pay attention to their own feelings and needs and to calm themselves down when they are stressed or overwhelmed. Emotional health. Self-care and mindfulness promote emotional health. By taking care of our own needs and paying attention to our emotions, we can better understand our emotional reactions and respond appropriately. Children who practice self-care and mindfulness can learn to regulate their own emotions and cope with difficult feelings. Strengthen relationships. By taking care of ourselves and making time for mindfulness and self-care, we can strengthen our relationships with others. When we feel good and at peace with ourselves, we can also be more responsive to the needs of others and be there for them. Children who practice mindfulness and self-care develop an understanding of the importance of self-care and can build healthier relationships with those around them. Preventing burnout. Self-care and mindfulness help prevent burnout. By giving ourselves space and time for rest, recovery and regeneration, we can recharge our energy and protect ourselves from chronic stress. It is important for children not to be overworked and to have enough time for play, rest and relaxation. Self-acceptance and self-love. Self-care and mindfulness promote self-acceptance and self-love. By caring for ourselves compassionately and lovingly, we learn to accept and respect ourselves. Children who practice self-care and mindfulness develop healthy self-esteem and learn to love and accept themselves as they are. The well-being of parents as a basis. Parental well-being is crucial because it forms the foundation for healthy and loving parenting. Here are some reasons why parental well-being should be a priority. Role modeling. Parents are the most important role models for their children. When parents neglect their own well-being, they unconsciously send the message that self-care and well-being are not important. However, by taking care of their own well-being and self-care, parents show their children the importance of taking care of themselves and looking after their own needs. Energy and patience. Parenting is a demanding job that requires a lot of energy and patience. When parents are exhausted, stressed, or overwhelmed, they may not have the energy and patience needed to respond appropriately to their children. By taking care of their own well-being, parents can recharge their energy and respond to their children's needs with more calmness and patience. Emotional state. The emotional state of parents influences the atmosphere in family life. If parents are stressed, anxious or unhappy, this can be passed on to their children and create a negative mood. By nurturing their own well-being and paying attention to their emotional needs, parents create a positive and loving atmosphere for their children. Health care. Parents' well-being also impacts their physical health. By paying attention to their own health, cultivating healthy habits and regular self-care. Parents can build their own resilience and health. Good physical health allows parents to be more energetic and resilient and to better manage their parenting. Partner relationships. Parents' well-being also impacts their partner relationships. When parents are stressed and overwhelmed, this can lead to tension and conflict. However, by looking after their own well-being and nurturing their partner relationships, parents create a supportive environment that has a positive impact on their parenting and family life. It is important for parents to recognize that their own needs and well-being are not selfish, but are a necessary foundation for healthy and loving parenting. By taking care of their own well-being, parents create the best conditions to provide a supportive, loving and healthy environment for their children. Promoting emotional intelligence. Promoting emotional intelligence in children is very important because it helps them understand their own emotions, express them appropriately, and recognize and respect the emotions of others. Here are some ways parents and educators can promote emotional intelligence in their children. Label and validate emotions. Help children recognize and label their own emotions. Encourage them to talk about their feelings and explain that all emotions are normal and acceptable. Validate their emotions by making them feel that their feelings are important and valid. Promote emotional expression. Encourage children to express their emotions in healthy ways. Teach them to describe their feelings and find alternative ways to express them, such as painting, writing or physical activities. Show them that it is okay to have feelings and to talk about them. Develop empathy. Help children develop empathy by encouraging them to put themselves in other people's shoes. Talk about others' perspectives and ask how they might be feeling. Encourage them to be caring and supportive when someone around them is struggling. Conflict resolution and social skills. Teach children to resolve conflicts peacefully and to treat other people with respect. Promote their social skills by teaching them to listen, compromise and fit into groups. Support them in expressing their own needs while considering the needs of others. Emotional regulation. Help children regulate their emotions and respond appropriately. Teach them different relaxation and stress management techniques, such as deep breathing, physical activity, or expressing feelings in a journal. Show them that they can have control over their emotions instead of being overwhelmed by them. Positive relationship building. Create a loving and supportive environment for children where they feel safe and secure. Offer them regular positive attention, affection and affirmation. Maintain a close bond with them where they can open up and talk about their emotions. Promoting emotional intelligence in children lays the foundation for their emotional well-being and social competence. By helping children understand their own emotions and respect the emotions of others. The importance of rest and relaxation. The importance of rest and relaxation for children cannot be overemphasized. In our fast-paced and hectic world, it is important to give children the opportunity to relax and unwind. Here are some reasons why rest and relaxation are important for children. Stress relief. Children today often experience stress in various areas of their lives, whether at school, in social situations or from external influences. Rest and relaxation offer them the opportunity to relieve stress and rejuvenate. This can improve their emotional and mental health. Sleep quality. Rest and relaxation are closely linked to sleep quality. When children have regular time for rest and relaxation, they are better able to relax and have a restful sleep. Adequate sleep is important for children's growth, cognitive development and general well-being. Emotional regulation. Rest and relaxation help children regulate their emotions. Moments of calm allow them to perceive and process their feelings. This can help them deal with difficult emotions and develop appropriate responses. Creativity and imagination. Rest and relaxation allow children to develop their creativity and imagination. In quiet moments, they have the opportunity to let their imagination run wild, dream and develop new ideas. This promotes their cognitive development and their ability to solve problems. Self-reflection and self-confidence. Rest and relaxation allow children time for self-reflection. They can reflect on their thoughts and feelings and develop a deeper understanding of themselves. This strengthens their self-confidence and identity formation. Stress prevention. Through regular rest and relaxation phases, children can learn to deal with stress and prevent it. They develop strategies to calm themselves down and manage their stresses. In the long term, this can help children become more resilient and better able to deal with life's challenges. Parents and educators can support the importance of rest and relaxation by giving their children time and space to do so. This can be done by creating a calm environment at home, incorporating relaxation techniques such as meditation or breathing exercises, and setting regular rest times. By allowing children to rest and relax, they can develop a healthy work-life balance and improve their well-being. Strengthening resilience in children. Building resilience in children is important as it helps them cope with challenges, stress and change and emerge stronger. Resilience enables children to overcome setbacks, build confidence and reach their full potential. Here are some ways parents and educators can build resilience in their children. Develop a supportive and loving relationship. Children need a secure and stable relationship with their parents or caregivers. A loving and supportive bond provides children with the support they need to overcome challenges and develop emotionally. Promote the development of self-confidence and self-esteem. Parents should encourage their children and help them discover and develop their strengths and abilities. By praising efforts and successes and encouraging them to take on responsibility, children can build healthy self-confidence and strong self-esteem. Develop problem-solving skills. Children should learn to actively approach problems and look for solutions. Parents can encourage them to explore different approaches to solving problems, weigh up the pros and cons, and make decisions. This will help children learn that they are capable of meeting challenges and overcoming difficulties. Promote the management of emotions. Children should learn to recognize and accept their emotions and deal with them appropriately. Parents can help them develop positive coping strategies, such as talking about their feelings, expressing emotions in a healthy way or finding relaxation techniques. By dealing with emotions constructively, children can strengthen their resilience. Promote flexibility and adaptability. Children should learn to adapt to change and be flexible. Parents can help them adapt to new situations by helping them see positive aspects in changes and find solutions. This promotes their ability to adapt to different circumstances and remain resilient. Supporting social connections. Social support is an important factor in resilience. Parents can encourage their children to build relationships and friendships in which they experience support and positive interactions. By building social connections, children can find support in difficult times and build their resilience. The role of society. The role of society in developing viable and happy children is crucial. Here are some aspects in which society can play a positive role. Education system. The education system has a major impact on children's development. It should aim not only to impart knowledge but also to promote social and emotional skills. A holistic education that responds to children's needs and takes into account their individual talents and interests is important for their development. Family policies. Supporting families through appropriate family policies is of great importance. Parents need access to support programs, resources and services that help them raise their children properly and meet their needs. Society should promote the reconciliation of family and work and support parents in managing their responsibilities. Community support. A strong community can have a positive impact on children's development. Society should create an environment where neighborhoods, schools and communities work together to provide a supportive and safe environment for children. Community programs, activities and resources can help promote social integration and well-being in children. Media and technology. The media landscape has a significant impact on children. Society should be aware that media content and technology can affect children's development. It is important that children have access to high-quality and age-appropriate content and that parents and educators help them develop media literacy and healthy media habits. Instilling values. Society should promote values such as compassion, tolerance, respect, justice and solidarity. Children should grow up in a culture that instills positive values and encourages them to take responsibility for themselves and others. Promoting moral development and ethical behavior is crucial for developing viable and happy children. Awareness and education. Society should be informed and sensitized to the needs and challenges of children. Through educational campaigns and programs, parents, educators, teachers and society at large can be informed about the important aspects of child development. The responsibility of educational institutions. The responsibility of educational institutions in developing viable and happy children is of great importance. Here are some aspects in which educational institutions can assume their responsibility. Holistic education. Educational institutions should not only focus on academic achievement but also on the holistic development of children. This means promoting their cognitive, emotional, social and physical skills. It is important that schools offer a comprehensive educational program that takes into account the different needs and talents of children. Promoting social skills. Educational institutions should help students develop social skills such as cooperation, communication, conflict resolution and empathy. By promoting positive relationships and enabling social interactions, schools can contribute to children's social integration and well-being. Prevention and support for mental health problems. Schools should take steps to identify, prevent and offer support for mental health problems in children. This can be done through the provision of school psychologists, counseling programs and awareness campaigns. By creating a supportive and compassionate environment, schools can help promote children's mental well-being, promote critical thinking and problem solving. Educational institutions should equip students with the skills to think critically, analyze problems, and find creative solutions. This strengthens their cognitive abilities and enables them to succeed in an ever-changing world. Promoting cultural diversity and inclusion. Schools should create an inclusive environment where diversity is valued and celebrated. By promoting cultural sensitivity and developing programs to promote intercultural cooperation, schools can contribute to creating a respectful and tolerant environment. Working with parents and guardians, educational institutions should work closely with the parents and guardians of students. Open communication, regular parent evenings and opportunities for parental involvement in school life can help ensure that parents are actively involved in their children's education and can play a supportive role. The responsibility of educational institutions goes beyond pure academic content. By focusing on the holistic development of children and creating a supportive and nurturing environment, schools can make a decisive contribution to ensuring that children grow up viable and happy. The importance of education for healthy development. The importance of education for the healthy development of children cannot be emphasized enough. Here are some aspects that illustrate why education plays a crucial role. Acquisition of knowledge. Through education, children acquire the knowledge and skills they need to navigate the world. They learn basic skills such as reading, writing and arithmetic, but also about different subjects and disciplines. Education enables children to be curious, ask questions and constantly expand their knowledge. Cognitive development. Education promotes children's cognitive development, including their reasoning skills, problem-solving skills, and logical thinking. They learn to analyze information, make connections, and think critically. This is crucial to strengthening their intellectual abilities and preparing them for learning and tackling challenges in life. Social and emotional development. Education also plays an essential role in the social and emotional development of children. Through interaction with other students and teachers, they learn to build relationships, resolve conflicts and develop empathy. Education provides opportunities for social interaction, teamwork and the development of social skills that are essential for a healthy social life. Self-confidence and self-esteem. A good education contributes to the development of children's self-confidence and self-esteem. By overcoming challenges, achieving goals and recognizing their own strengths and abilities, they gain confidence in their abilities. This is crucial for developing a positive self-image and a healthy mental state. Career prospects. Education opens up better career prospects for children and gives them access to qualified jobs and higher education qualifications. A solid educational foundation opens up more opportunities for children and expands their future prospects. Civic responsibility. Through education, children also learn about their responsibilities as citizens in society. They learn to understand their rights and responsibilities, to participate in social processes and to work for social justice and change. A well-informed and educated population is crucial for a functioning democracy and a just society. The importance of education for the healthy development of children is undisputed. A high-quality education that responds to the individual needs and abilities of children lays the foundation for their lifelong learning, personal development and well-being. It is therefore of great importance. Promoting individual strengths and interests. Promoting individual strengths and interests is an important part of a holistic education. Here are some reasons why this is important. Self-confidence and motivation. When children discover their individual strengths and interests and are encouraged to develop them, they develop greater self-confidence and motivation to develop further. They recognize their abilities and talents, which leads to a positive self-image and increases their willingness to accept and successfully overcome challenges. Intrinsic motivation. By encouraging children in areas that match their individual interests, they develop an intrinsic motivation to learn. They are curious, engaged, and enjoy developing in their preferred areas. This intrinsic drive contributes to their desire to continuously learn and improve their skills. Reaching full potential. Every child has a unique set of strengths and interests. By nurturing these individual characteristics, children can reach their full potential. They have the opportunity to challenge and grow in the areas they are most skilled at, and can develop into competent and successful individuals. Career guidance. Individual strengths and interests also play a critical role in career guidance. When children have the opportunity to explore and develop their passions and talents, they can make informed decisions about their future career paths. This increases the likelihood that they will work in jobs that are fulfilling and bring them success. Creative and innovative mindset. Individual strengths and interests also encourage a creative and innovative mindset in children. When they are encouraged in areas that interest them, they are encouraged to develop new ideas, find alternative solutions, and use critical thinking. This helps develop problem-solving and innovation skills that are beneficial in many areas of life. Fulfilling and happy lives. By allowing children to explore and develop their individual strengths and interests, they have the opportunity to live fulfilling and happy lives. They can pursue their passions, spend their time doing things they enjoy, and find a sense of fulfillment in what they do. This contributes to their overall well-being and life satisfaction. Promoting individual strengths and interests is therefore of great importance in order to support children in their personal development and give them the opportunity to become their best versions. The cooperation between parents and teachers. Collaboration between parents and teachers plays an essential role in promoting healthy development and well-being in children. Here are some reasons why this collaboration is important. Holistic support. Parents and teachers have different perspectives and experiences that can complement each other. By working closely together, they can ensure holistic support for the child. Parents can share important information about the child and their needs, while teachers can contribute their expertise and pedagogical approaches. Together, they can develop a comprehensive and individually tailored approach to best support the child. Exchange of information. Parents and teachers have different information about the child. Parents know their child best and can provide important insights into their personality, interests, and strengths. Teachers, in turn, have knowledge of the child's academic progress, behavior, and social integration in the school environment. A regular exchange of information allows both parties to get a comprehensive picture of the child and act accordingly. Consistent parenting. Close cooperation between parents and teachers helps create a consistent parenting style. When parents and teachers have similar expectations and rules and work together, the child experiences a clear and consistent message. This promotes a feeling of security and stability and supports the child in their development. Early detection of problems. Open communication between parents and teachers allows for early detection of potential problems or challenges that the child may face. By sharing their observations and concerns, parents and teachers can work together to develop solutions and provide appropriate support. This allows potential difficulties to be addressed in a timely manner and minimizes any potential negative impact on the child. Strengthening learning. Parents and teachers can support each other in strengthening the child's learning. Parents can create learning opportunities at home that complement the classroom and encourage the child's interest in learning. Teachers can inform parents about lessons, provide tips to support learning at home, and set shared goals for the child. This collaborative work maximizes the child's learning potential. Positive school environment. Good cooperation between parents and teachers creates a positive school environment. When parents feel invited and supported, they are more likely to participate actively in school activities and work for the child's well-being. This in turn promotes a sense of community and belonging in the school. The influence of media and technology. The influence of media and technology on children is very important in today's world. Here are some aspects that describe the influence. Access to information. Media and technology provide children with easy access to a wealth of information. They can quickly access knowledge, news, books, documentaries and other resources. This opens up new learning opportunities and broadens their horizons. Entertainment and leisure activities. Media and technology provide children with a variety of entertainment options. They can play games, watch movies, listen to music and use social media. These activities can be fun and encourage children's creativity, imagination and social interaction. Influence on values and behavior. Media and technology can have a significant influence on children's values, behavior and attitudes. Television programs, films and online content can convey certain behaviors, stereotypes and norms. It is important that parents and guardians critically consider this influence and discuss it with children to promote conscious and reflective understanding. Social interaction. Technology allows children to communicate and interact with others, even across long distances. They can stay in touch with friends, relatives and peers through social media, chat platforms or video conferencing. This can promote social development and relationship building, time management and concentration. However, excessive use of media and technology can also have negative effects. Children may tend to spend too much time in front of screens, which can lead to a lack of exercise, concentration problems, and insufficient time for other important activities such as reading, physical exercise, or face-to-face interaction. Therefore, it is important to monitor the amount of time children are exposed to and set healthy boundaries. Media literacy. Given the influence of media and technology, it is crucial that children develop media literacy. They should learn to view media critically, verify information, protect their privacy and demonstrate responsible behavior in the digital space. Promoting media literacy is a joint task of parents, educational institutions and society. It is important that parents and guardians are aware of the influence of media and technology on their children and encourage balanced and responsible use. The effects of screen time on children. The effects of screen time on children can have both positive and negative aspects. Here are some key points to consider. Positive effects. Learning and knowledge acquisition. Screen-based activities such as educational apps, interactive learning games and online courses can promote knowledge acquisition and learning. For example, children can learn new languages, explore mathematical concepts or develop their creative thinking. Access to information. Screen time gives children access to a wealth of information and resources. They can access e-books, online encyclopedias, scientific research, and educational videos. This allows them to learn about various topics and expand their knowledge. Creativity and imagination. Digital media can stimulate children's creativity and imagination. There are apps and tools that allow children to create digital artwork, tell stories, compose music, and produce videos. These activities can develop their artistic skills and stimulate their imagination. Negative effects. Health impacts. Excessive screen time can have negative health impacts. Children can develop an inactive lifestyle, which can lead to problems such as obesity, posture problems and sleep disorders. Excessive eye strain from staring at screens for hours can also cause problems. Social isolation. When children spend too much time on screens, they are at risk of distancing themselves from face-to-face social interactions. The lack of direct social contact can lead to social isolation, difficulty developing social skills, and problems forming relationships. Impact on attention span. Excessive screen time can affect children's attention span. Constant distractions, rapid image changes, and interactive features can make it difficult to focus on a task and stay alert for an extended period of time. Risk of inappropriate content. The internet and digital media can also contain inappropriate content and online risks. Children may inadvertently come across inappropriate content or come into contact with online harassment, cyberbullying or fraudulent activities. It is important to ensure a balanced and appropriate amount of screen time for children. For example, guidelines and recommendations from professionals such as the American Academy of Pediatrics, AAP, recommend that children under 18 months of age should have no screen time, while older children should limit their screen time to a reasonable level. Media literacy and a balanced approach. Media literacy and a balanced approach to media are crucial to minimize the potential risks and fully exploit the benefits of media. Here are some important aspects. Develop media literacy. Media literacy includes the understanding, skills and critical thinking to understand, evaluate and appropriately deal with media content. It includes the ability to verify information, question sources, interpret media content and make conscious decisions about media use. Children should learn to look at media critically and question the intentions and messages behind the content. Educate children about online risks. Parents and guardians should educate children about the potential risks online, including cyberbullying, harassment, privacy and fraudulent activities. Children should know how to stay safe online, protect their privacy and contact trusted adults if they see inappropriate behavior. Shared media time. It is important that children are not exposed to media alone, but that parents and guardians actively participate. By exploring media content together, discussing content and asking questions, they can promote their children's media literacy and help them understand the value of media. Set screen time limits. It is advisable to set clear rules and boundaries for screen time. This includes limiting daily screen time, establishing screen-free times or zones, for example, during meals or before bedtime, and setting up screen time schedules that cover different activities and interests. Encourage alternative activities. In addition to screen time, parents and guardians should encourage alternative activities that support physical exercise, reading, creative development and social interaction. Children should be encouraged to spend time outdoors, play sports, read books, play with friends and work on hobbies and interests outside the media world. Be a role model. Parents and guardians should set a good example by demonstrating a balanced use of media themselves. When children see their parents using media consciously, limiting screen time and prioritizing alternative activities, they are more likely to adopt these habits. A balanced use of media and active promotion of media literacy help children to take advantage of the benefits of media while also minimizing potential risks. Promoting critical thinking. Promoting critical thinking is vital to empowering children in an increasingly connected and information-rich world. Here are some approaches to promoting critical thinking in children. Encourage questioning and critical thinking. Encourage children to ask questions, challenge information, and consider different perspectives. Ask them open-ended questions that stimulate their thinking and encourage them to justify their opinions and views. Source evaluation. Teach children to critically evaluate information and check the reliability of sources. They should learn to distinguish between trustworthy, reputable sources and dubious or misleading information. Media analysis. Encourage children to analyze media content such as news, articles, videos, and advertisements. Help them identify and understand the intentions, messages, and possible biases behind the content. Problem solving and critical thinking in everyday situations. Promote children's ability to identify problems, develop solutions and make decisions. Enable them to solve problems independently and to consider different solutions. Discussions and debates. Encourage children to share their opinions and participate in discussions and debates. They should learn to justify their points of view and to listen to and respect other opinions. This develops the ability to analyze arguments and consider different perspectives. Promote critical thinking in various areas. Promote critical thinking in various areas such as math, science, literature and social issues. Help children develop logical thinking, problem-solving skills and the ability to see connections. Media education. Integrate media education into the curriculum or create specific learning opportunities for children to analyze media, develop media literacy, and encourage critical thinking about media content. By developing critical thinking skills, children are better able to analyze information, make informed decisions, and take an active role in their environment. Parents, guardians, and educational institutions play an important role in this by creating the space and providing the tools children need to develop their critical thinking skills. Rights and ownership notice. This audiobook is published and distributed by Testbericht-Institut LLC. All copyrights, publishing rights, distribution rights, audio rights, and related intellectual property rights for this work have been lawfully and exclusively acquired by Testbericht-Institut LLC. Testbericht-Institut LLC is the sole and unrestricted rights holder of this audiobook, including the right to reproduce, distribute, publish, monetize, and publicly perform the content on digital platforms such as YouTube. The original manuscript files, source documents, and contractual acquisition records serve as proof of lawful ownership. The original author and/or their authorized representative, Renovatio LLC, has transferred all relevant rights to Testbericht-Institut LLC in accordance with applicable copyright and publishing law. This ownership applies to all current and future uses of this work, including audio, video, and digital publications. Effective date of rights ownership: the 1st of February 2026. Any unauthorized use, reproduction, re-upload, redistribution, or claiming of this content is strictly prohibited. Copyright Test Bericht LLC. All rights reserved.